Are we all ready for another drive time confession?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, it depends on the subject, really.
Well,
is it sport?
I'm going to continue. This from Mr. G. Thank you, Mr. G. Dear Simon, Mother Superior, gathered holy people of the Radio 2 Church, please forgive me, for I have sinned. Back in the early 1970s, I was a member of the Scouts, a resourceful bunch of kids who do the right thing, try their best, and help old ladies across the road. One day in the early summer of 1972, our Scout leader told us that we had been invited to a local school fete, where we would give a demonstration of scouting in action by camping overnight in the school grounds. Places were limited, and only the most badged and smartest scouts would be allowed. Though I hadn't been a scout for very long, I had a long history with the Cubs and indeed was a former Sixer. So although I was only 11, I got a place. Eagerly, I packed my knapsack for the weekend, book of wood whittling, the complete campfire songbook. Everything was ready. I don't think there probably was a book of wood whittling.
I'll bet there was.
Do you think there was?
Yeah,
Maybe a
absolutely.
leaflet.
A leaflet of whittling, with all the details that you need. Arriving at the school, says Mr. G, we set about erecting our camp in the fields and assessing the amenities. Ablutions were to be carried out in the school, and they had left the door to the gym open for access. Scouting is a naturally inquisitive hobby, so it wasn't long before I was in there having a look round. Standing around inside the gym were the stalls for tomorrow's fete, already set up and just ready to be wheeled out into the sunshine. There was a Punch and Judy, various shabby tabletop book sales. Teletop even. The usual paraphernalia associated with the school fete. I was just about to leave when my eyes fell upon a large square board laying on a table. Painted blue, it had hundreds of straws sticking vertically out of it, looking like a multicoloured porcupine or that 70s party staple, the cheese and pineapple hedgehog. Lying beside the board was a sign with the headline, "Draw a straw," and underneath the instructions, pay 10p a go, draw a straw. If the top of the straw is painted silver, win 50p. However, if you find the gold straw, you hit the jackpot. You win £1. I stared at the words before me. Win £1. Simon, Mother Superior et al., let me tell you this. You could buy a house for £1 in 1972 and still have change left over for the annual subscription to the World of Scouting magazine. A wave of opportunist excitement came over me. Drawing on 3 years of trained scouting resourcefulness, I looked over my shoulder and, realising I was alone, I began to pull the straws quickly and inspected their tips. A silver straw, a couple of ordinary boring straws, another silver straw, many, many more boring straws, and eventually, my heart pounding, I found the gold straw, beads of sweat on my brow, hands shaking. I put the silver and gold straws back into the corners of the board where I'd remember. I adjusted my woggle and returned to my tent, where I tossed and turned in my sleeping bag all night, too excited to sleep, you see. The following day, Mr. G... Thank you very much, Mr. G. Nicely written. The following day, dressed in our full uniform, we demonstrated scouting to the assembled throng. Many knots were tied, much wood was whittled, and badges earned. But all the time I was thinking about the straws.
How did you get that far?
Pull yourself together.
I missed that
Mr.
bit
Mayo.
when I was rehearsing. Rushing to the Rushing to the stall, I found things in full swing, but the straws, my straws, were still in place. Drawing out my pocket money, I said loudly, "I'll have a go." Handing over 30p, I drew my first straw. Silver! At the first go, a gasp rang out from the gathered crowd. My second straw. Silver again! Somebody whispered, "The lucky so..." And another. Well, it was time for my third. Would it draw suspicion on me if I got 3 out of 3? Should I pick a plain straw? Did I want £1? Yes, I did. This time, gold, and this drew a ripple of applause. The lucky scout has won again. The stall owner had a faraway look, really, of someone who'd been completely fleeced, but can't really work out why. That night I danced around the campfire and quaffed many ginger beers. £2 secure in my pocket. I was rich beyond my wildest dreams. So I have to ask forgiveness, for I learnt many things from that incident. I squandered the money on Airfix kits and pop. I feel bad for the other fete-goers who thought they had a 100 to 1 chance of winning. I feel bad for the stall owner who lost his main prize early doors. However, to be fair, I also left 2 silver straws in there to give someone else a chance, not to make it look too obvious. Thanks in advance, Mr. G, aged 51 and a bit. Thank you, Mr. G. I think we got away with that. Right, let's see what Sister Rebecca makes of a tale of debauchery at the school fete.
I can't really believe that nobody cottoned on to that. I mean, 3 out of 3. Too good to be true, surely. Also,
But he's a scout, you trust the scout.
Well, you trust the scout, exactly, and cheating is not in the scout's code of honour, I don't think.
I don't think so, no.
And he deprived somebody else of 3 prizes. So I think, for all those reasons,
Yes.
I can't forgive you, Mr. G.
I think he's let his entire team and the scouting movement down.
Were you ever a Boy Scout?
I was.
Did you adjust your woggle at any point?
I almost certainly did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You see, I couldn't really get past that, and I didn't really listen to the rest of it, to be honest.
Well, at least you listened to half of it, which is which is an improvement on most.
I think that's the best line we've ever had in a confession. Pause to adjust his woggle. I
think Mr. G might have been a Janet and John scriptwriter in previous years.
Maybe. But I kind of agree with Rebecca, because it really is stealing, isn't it? It's stealing. I know what Matt's going to say, though. He's going to say, good on ya. But I think I'm going to go with Rebecca and say, you're a Boy Scout, you should not be cheating.
It's not looking good for you, Mr. G.
Not
Here's
forgiven.
Brother Matt.
Well, frankly, if you're going to have one of these hedgehog games and you're going to leave it unattended overnight, what did you expect? It's all brought on your own shoulders for If I was going to have a treasure hunt prize, I wouldn't leave the treasure hunt around so that people could have a look at it.
So it was their fault, really?
Yes, absolutely. It was his own fault. The faraway look in his eye was thinking, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have left it in the gym overnight. More fool me. Nothing to forgive. We'd have all done the same, by the way. Yes, we would. All of us sat here would have done the same.
Matt, were you a Boy
Definitely.
Scout ever?
Yes,
Were
I
you,
was.
and would you have done it even with your scouting promises intact?
I would have done it twice.